In the winter of 1849, a group of gold-seeking pioneers took a shortcut through an unmapped basin in California. Expecting to save 20 days of travel, they instead found a landscape of poisonous springs and evaporating rain, barely surviving what they eventually named Death Valley. At over 3.4 million acres, it is the largest national park in the lower 48 states. It also contains Badwater Basin, a massive salt flat sitting 282 feet below sea level, the lowest point in North America. This diagram shows the specific geography behind the region's intense heat. High mountain ranges on either side cast a severe rain shadow, while the deep, narrow valley floor catches descending air. That air superheats, rises, and falls back down, cycling through the basin like a convection oven. This process created the highest officially recorded surface temperature on Earth, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. The cracked earth and barren salt flats create the impression of a static, sterilized void, but this appearance is a physical illusion. Directly beneath that sun-baked crust lies an active world, including a subterranean water network that spans the entire region. The record-breaking temperatures and arid expanses are driven by massive geological engines and dynamic ecosystems operating entirely out of sight. Every record-breaking event on the surface traces back to a system operating far beneath the rock. This map traces the Death Valley regional groundwater flow system. Ancient water travels from distant mountains to pool beneath the desert floor, breaching the surface in geothermal pools like Devil's Hole, a water-filled chasm in the rock. Living inside this pool is the Devil's Hole pupfish, a rare, inch-long species that has adapted to survive in waters reaching 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Because these pools connect directly to the water table, they respond to global seismic activity. When a large earthquake strikes as far away as Japan or Mexico, the shock waves travel through the Earth's crust and trigger sloshing tsunamis inside these tiny habitats. On the surface, intense superstorms occasionally dump years' worth of rain in a matter of hours. This floods the salt flats and temporarily resurrects Lake Manly, an Ice Age body of water that once filled the entire basin. The valley's aridity is only a surface condition. Hydrologically and seismically, it is connected to ancient water systems and global tectonic forces. This 3D block model illustrates the tectonic forces tearing the basin apart. The region sits on a fault line that is stretching the Earth laterally, pushing the outer mountain peaks upward while the central valley floor drops. Badwater Basin is the result of this sinking. Its salt flats sit 282 feet below sea level, and tectonic forces are pulling it even lower. That violence is geologically recent. Roughly 800 years ago, a rising magma plume collided with groundwater. The resulting steam explosion created the 600-foot-deep Ubehebe crater. This is a landscape in transition, a volatile tectonic engine that continues to reshape itself with every passing century. On the flat lake bed of the Racetrack Playa, hundreds of stones, some weighing up to 700 pounds, leave synchronized sliding trails stretching across the dirt. During rare winter freezes, shallow water on the playa forms thin sheets of windowpane ice. As the morning sun melts the ice, light winds push these massive frozen panels into the rocks, shoving them across the slippery mud. 70 miles to the north, the Eureka Dunes rise nearly 700 feet above the dry lakebed, producing a low-frequency hum known as singing sand. This acoustic phenomenon occurs when highly polished spherical quartz grains cascade down the steepest slip faces of the dune. The mechanical friction of the grains shearing against one another generates a vibrating rumble that mimics a propeller aircraft. The extreme, uninterrupted expanses of flat playas and towering dunes act as natural kinetic and acoustic amplifiers. The Timbisha Shoshone tribe has successfully navigated these conditions for the past 1,000 years, locating deep springs and migrating with the intense seasonal shifts. In the 1920s, engineers built Scotty's Castle. They tapped a local high-volume spring, generating off-grid electricity to sustain a luxurious oasis in the dust. Today, aerospace engineers use the valley's steep topography as a testing corridor. Fighter jets routinely dive through Rainbow Canyon to practice complex, high-G maneuvers. humans have engineered specific ways to exploit the region's unique physics, hydrology, and geography. From moving rocks to subterranean tsunamis, Death Valley operates as an active planetary laboratory. The cracked Earth suggests total desolation, but the landscape sustains life through specialized biological and hydrological systems. When precise triggers of heavy autumn rainfall and mild winter temperatures align, millions of dormant seeds erupt through the salt flats. This rare superbloom blankets the basin in vibrant purple and yellow wildflowers. The physical forces that define this basin are the same mechanisms that fuel its sudden, vibrant bursts of life.